Welcome to Tech Talk with Craig Peterson, show number 697. We've got a bunch of guests today as usual. We're going to talk with TruePhone, StreamView. We're going to talk with BenQ about their home entertainment projector. Now, coming up here at the top of hour 2, I want everybody to stick around for this because this is important stuff. We're going to be joined by Dan Dobie. I'll talk about this in just a few minutes here as well. He's got a movie coming out. It's a one day only. It's Tuesday, this Tuesday. Please subscribe film.com is where you'll find it online. So we'll talk about that in just a couple of minutes. But very, very important interview. We're going to be talking with Guardian, app.com. ADT is going to join us. We'll also be talking a little bit with Howie Schwartz here about on-demand mobile advertising, how you as an app developer can get ads into your app, or you as an advertiser can reach the audience really that you want to reach. Mobile Help Now is going to be with us. Steve Broomer, he is an investor. If you've been wondering what's happening in the angel and VC world, and there have been some major changes, we'll talk with him from 151 Advisors. We're also going to be talking with Scan Life here about their new scan by QR codes, what's going on with those, in case you weren't aware of what those all were. So they're coming up today. Now, we're also going to be going through some articles in the news today. And these are the most popular articles that we have, that my listeners here, you guys have clicked on. Well, it's not the listeners exactly, because I don't know what you want unless you tell me. And one of the easiest ways for you to tell me is for you to go online. Go to Facebook or go to YouTube or Twitter or LinkedIn. But the launch point for all of those is craigradio.com. craigradio.com. Now, up at the top, you'll see the little icons. One's for Twitter, one's for Facebook, LinkedIn, and YouTube. So depending on what you want, just click on that and then like my page. Now, what I've been doing, and I've been very religious about this for about at least 6 months, is every day I post 3-4 different articles that are important articles. Some days I don't post that many because there just isn't that much real news out there in the tech world. So I kind of skip those days. But most of the time, you'll find a few articles a day. Now, here's how it all works. If you go to craigradio.com, go there right now, in fact. Yeah, get up, go to craigradio.com, and click on Facebook, for instance, if you have a Facebook account. Now, you'll see my articles in your stream. You can talk about the articles, you can respond to them, you can forward them, you can like them. Now, I get involved in the conversations, and I'm pretty good about that. If you have a question or concern, a comment, whatever, and a lot of people's friends jump in too when they like them, and the friends see the articles. So I think that's an important thing for you to know too, that when you like something, your friends often see that, and then it starts to build a little bit of community. But when you do that, I realize I know what you've been clicking on. And in fact, if you're watching me on YouTube right now, you'll see here's what I've got here for my reports as to what people have clicked on over the last week or so. So the most important one, the biggest one this week, I had about 1,400 clicks here, 1,378 clicks on an article called Why Programmers Work at Night. Now, we'll talk about that in just a few minutes. And why will we talk about it? Because you guys liked it. You clicked on it right there on Facebook, or you forwarded it on Twitter. So that's a very good thing. I appreciate you guys doing that. So we now know a little bit more about you, what you thought, and then I go ahead and get involved in the conversation, because some people disagreed with the article. Other people used it in their business to make a few bucks. And I always like that. I like to help out small businesses. So again, craigradio.com. Click on the Facebook link or the Twitter link, YouTube if you like to watch the videos. You can be watching me right now, in fact. Or, let's see, what did I miss? LinkedIn, I guess, which is the business, kind of the business Facebook, if you will, is LinkedIn. So you can click on that as well, depending on what you're on. So that's what we're going to be talking about. We'll be talking about programmers working at night, some new logos for Microsoft, Steve Ballmer, what he's doing to really kind of nail people inside his organization that present a challenge to him, which is probably why Microsoft Microsoft's starting to fall apart quickly here. You can't have good people moving up through the ranks. And unlocking smartphones, I had some conversations this week with a couple of different people who wanted to point out some inaccuracies from my being on the morning show, because you got to keep it quick and short and kind of quip things on there. So we'll talk about that, the unlocking phones and the mistakes that we made on the other show. It wasn't Paul Westcott's show because he's gone now, but it was the morning show on Friday a week ago. You're listening to Tech Talk with Craig Peterson. We're going to go through some articles in the news now. Then we're going to go on to the interview portion of today's show. And I want to point out again here a little bit about our friend who's on at the top of the next hour, in fact, from his name's Dan Dobie. Now, you should go online. I'm going to pull this up right now for the people watching us on YouTube. This is Please Subscribe film. It's in theaters February 5th, one night only. That's Tuesday. I've seen this film. I really like the film. Now, what he's doing in this movie is he's interviewing a bunch of people that he's known for quite a while, because he's also been successful on YouTube, who make their living on YouTube. Think about that for a minute. Make their living. 1 million people in 2011, 1 million people dropped their cable television service and dropped their satellite dishes. So that means 1 million people now were getting their video content from somewhere else. People are getting it from YouTube, they're getting it from Netflix, they're getting it from Hulu, and of course that's also, we talked about this on the show before, what Sony's going after, Apple's going after, and many others are going after. So he's been busy putting together this show. Oh, he's got an official trailer too. That's kind of cool. Putting together the show for people to be able to watch and find out more. So if you've ever thought you might want to make a few bucks on YouTube, if your business thinks about getting on YouTube, this is the film to watch. Please Subscribe is the name of the movie. Now, it's one night only. You can find where it's showing by going online to Please Subscribe film.com. I'm sure he's going to end up selling it. He'll make it available for you to be able to watch as well, and watch at home or watch in business. So it's very important. I think it's something that pretty much everybody should be paying some serious attention to, because this is changing things forever. We are right now kind of on that tipping point. So it's a very, very big deal. So on to the article. So he's joining us here in about an hour, a little less than an hour. Why programmers work at night. This was the most clicked on article that I posted this week. A popular saying goes that programmers are machines that turn caffeine into code. This is from Business Insider. It was written by Swizik Teller. A geek with a hat, it says. And sure enough, ask a random programmer where they do the best work, and there's a high chance they'll admit to a lot of late night. So what's going on here? Why do programmers work late at night? What makes it work for them and for the businesses they work for? Bottom line, during the daytime, too many interruptions. Well, everybody gets interrupted. Why can't programmers work during the day? The bottom line, again here, a lot of bottom lines in this one, is that you've got to build this huge picture in your head of the whole system. How does it work? How does this business you're trying to build, this application that supports the business, how does that work? How does it all fit together? Extremely complex. Very, very complex. So you've got all of this in your head, and I'm speaking from personal experience here, okay? And the phone rings. The wife walks downstairs to talk to you. The dog starts barking. Anything happens. The boss comes in and says, "What's going on? Are you done yet?" That whole beautiful image that was in your head just comes crashing right down, and you've lost it. It's going to take you, well, they say, well, yeah, interruption, 5 minutes, 10, 15 minutes. No, it's going to take you an hour, 2 hours to get back to that point. So if you're coding at night, people aren't bothering you. You're sitting there, you're working on it. Now, the other thing that is a big deal here about why programmers work at night has to do with the exact same thing, and that is interruptions. When your brain's a little bit sleepy, It isn't jumping all over creation, thinking about what am I going to do tomorrow? Oh, my girlfriend last week. Oh, my kids aren't getting into college. None of that's happening because your brain's half asleep. So bottom line, us programmers have a little too much mental capacity. And I think that's true for most people. And it gets distracting during the daytime. So a little bit of tiredness combined with the fact that you get fewer interruptions makes programmers much, much more productive when they're working at night. So I think you'll like this article. I think it's a whole lot of fun here to kind of read through it. Blood alcohol concentration. There, energy drinks, caffeine, a little bit of alcohol. Of course, beer is a very big thing when it comes to many programmers. You're listening to Tech Talk with Craig Peterson on ClearChannel Radio, and of course also on YouTube. You might be listening to it on iTunes. You might not know that, but you can drag the little listen icon on craigradio.com right into iTunes, and it'll automatically download my podcasts of the show. Let's go to the next article here. This one, you're going to have to see this because this is very, very visual. But this has to do with Microsoft branding. And I like the idea because the guy that put this together, I suspect would like a job with Microsoft to do some branding work for them. So this one's called The Next Microsoft. Very popular article, again, this week. And what he's done is he's come up with an idea for a logo. And his logo, kind of like the Nike swoosh, is very simple. In this case, it's a, not quite a square, but a little four-sided design. I forget what you call that. My goodness, things are fading here, but very, very pretty here. He says, get rid of the old Microsoft text logo as well. Replace it with something simpler that people will be able to see and understand and read a little better. He's got the picture of the Microsoft logo as it's evolved over the years, particularly surrounding Windows as they went forward. But he's got some ideas here for some new looks. A lot of people really liked it, and frankly, I like his branding much, much better than the branding that Microsoft is using right now. And he shows how you can take his brand use it for the Surface, use it for Windows, use it for Office, kind of spread it all out. And it's very cool. I love what this guy has done. So good for him. Next article. This is also Microsoft related article. Interesting, eh? You guys are clicking on Microsoft articles that I've been posting up on Facebook and YouTube. And also, of course, Twitter and LinkedIn. Now, this one is from Reuters. Is there a credit? Yeah, Bill Rigby. Here we go, out of Seattle. Now, I've been ripping Microsoft a new one, talking about the faceplant they've had with their Surface tablet. It's, according to Microsoft lovers, the Surface tablet is the best gift to give to someone that you hate, okay? That's how bad things are. So it's not just me, okay? I'm not just an Apple boy, as they tend to call them. I like the Apple because I like the Unix operating system that's underneath it. Very, very stable, something I understand and work with and have worked with since the 1981, basically. So very long time I've worked with Unix. So former Microsoft executive says the CEO of Microsoft, Steve Ballmer, gets rid of any internal rivals to his power. So what does that mean? That means ultimately Microsoft is being hurt and the investors are being hurt because of Steve Ballmer and what Steve Ballmer's doing. For Microsoft to really get back into the game seriously, you need a big change in management, said Joachim Kempen, who worked at Microsoft between 1983 and 2002, overseeing the sales of Windows software to computer makers for part of that time. As much as I respect Steve Ballmer, he may be part of that in the end. As a senior VP in charge of crucial component of the company's business, with direct access to co-founder Bill Gates, Kempen is the most senior former Microsoft executive to write a book critical of the company, which is famous for the loyalty of his ex-employees. So you'll have to read this article. Kempen left under a cloud in 2002 because of some of the aggressive contracts he made with PC makers. Yeah, Yeah, you want to see some aggressive contracts. It was incredible here. And they helped to spawn the antitrust investigation of Microsoft. So he's a little bit disgruntled, which may be why he's also criticizing here Steve Ballmer. But you really cannot expect a company where the CEO basically gets rid of any potential competition to him internally to really thrive. I think it'd be kind of crazy to expect that. Okay, so coming up here, we have a True Phone. We're going to talk about streaming video that you can use for anything from a wedding through your business, and they'll do everything, including subscriptions and collecting the subscription money for you. Home entertainment with BenQ. They've got some great projectors. I played with them out at the Consumer Electronics Show. And then the top of the next hour, Dan Dobie, we're going to talk about YouTube with him and success stories and some of the things you can do to make some money on YouTube. Guardian, Apt Electronics, ADT. We've got some info on mobile advertising and a whole lot more. CraigRadio.com. Click on Facebook. Click on LinkedIn. YouTube, watch the videos, click on the articles, let me know what you think. We'll be right back.